Hey YouTube, I know you guys are always wanting to find information on these speakers. These are the NXL24 Mark II right here. I've got one of them out, and I've got the RCF HDM45. All right. So these are paired with with 9004 subs. I've got 4 of those subs. But I figured I would give you guys kind of the best information possible if you're researching which one's right for you. And so there's a lot of applications. These speakers are very versatile, but it's no point in plugging them in so you can hear them because, I mean, it's just not gonna make a difference to the cell phone. So I figured I'd break it down and kind of show you exactly, you know, what to expect from them. So here the back. This does not have RDNet. It does have a True 1 power. The HDM45 does have RDNet. And both are extremely good. So, but let's be real, okay? If you're buying speakers at this level, they're all gonna be good. They're all gonna be good. If you're a DJ, this video is not for you. Only because if you're a DJ and you have these speakers, I mean, there's really nothing more to say. I would say that the HDM is gonna be a little bit louder. It's gonna be a little bit punchier because it has the 4-inch compression driver, which is gonna be bigger than what's in the NXL. But 2 completely different sounds, but both are really, really good. So if you're looking for versatility and just anywhere, everywhere, you're never gonna go wrong with this. This thing is just, I mean, it's a perfect speaker. The only negative thing about it is a plastic box. So you will hear a little bit of resonance if you're behind or right next to it, like beside it, and you might hear the cabinet kind of rattle a little bit. But if you're out in front, you won't hear it at all. So your audience will never know, but you might freak out and think that a speaker is is blowing, but it's not. It's just the cabinet. This right here, what you can expect, you do have four 6-inch woofers and a horn in here. It's going to give you a lot of detail in the mid-range. It sounds really cool. So whenever you have it paired with a sub, let's say a 9004, it's going to give you almost like a 3-way sound. Okay, the horn's at the very top. This isn't going to punch you in the face, but it's going to be super clear and it's going to travel. Okay, both are very, very powerful. I've been able to use these outside. And then I use these, I mean, both of them, I can use these anywhere, any venue. These, you just want to point straight and let them do what they do. It's a small speaker, it's very light, but it's very, very powerful, very powerful. So you're looking at NXL is 2100 watts, the HDM is 2200 watts, a difference in 1 SPL. So the HDM is going to be a little bit louder. And again, with the crossover at 660 hertz on the high frequency driver, it's just going to be naturally louder. Both have a really good spread. I will say the HDM has a more, has probably maybe even a better spread horizontally. And but both are really good. If you're switching from both, you'll just have to adjust what you're listening for. With this being a wooden box, it's going to have a more warmer sound. So applications, what do I use these for? So I own a 7-piece cover band, and so we can use these. I've used these for, gosh, hundreds and hundreds of people. Okay, I think the most amount of people I use these for was. I use these for maybe a couple thousand. I had my 2 9004 subs at the time, clustered in the front, and these on the sides on poles, lift them as high as I could. And I had it going, and it was outdoor, obviously. Not enough power, but enough power that it was pretty clear. It was pretty good, it handled. What I plan to do in upcoming events is use a combination of both of these. I'll have these on in the middle as far as like on the subs. So these will stack on 2 subs on each side, and these will be on the outside. And I'll probably run a separate aux to HDMs, that way I can control that mix independently from the NXLs, since they're gonna have a little bit of a different sound. Also too, what to expect is number one, have good instruments, all right? So if you're a cover band or if you're a band, like these are not hard to mix with, but it sounds better if you have good instruments. Good vocal mics, don't use cheap mics on these. Use some good capsules. We use Sennheiser's 945 capsules, 935 and 845 capsules. We run Nord Stage 4 through it. You run a Kemper Live for guitars, everything's direct. You're gonna find with these, one thing you'll find is on this right here, the HDM, you have a 15-inch woofer. So one thing that works to your advantage is on the toms. You can get those into the speakers a little bit. So that mid-range, that lower mid-range, so this has about a low frequency of about 45, I believe, 45 hertz, where this one's 60, okay? So that 45, you can kind of get that floor tom with some of those toms to kind of be a little bit there, punchy before it gets to the sub. So it can sound really good, sound really full, like cannons. You could do the same with these. It's just not gonna be as forceful because again, you're running with 6-inch woofers. So, and this crossover point is the same as the HDL6s too, by the way, which is 60 hertz. So they're still gonna sound amazing, but you're just gonna hear a lot of detail, a tremendous amount of detail from both of them. You really can't go wrong. They're around the same price point. Let's see, other things to consider. Here's a question. You might say, okay, how much sound do I really need? How much sound do you really need? I would say that if you are a band and you have these or these, you pretty much have enough sound to do any gig that's not providing sound. So at this rate, I think I could probably, if I'm using a combination of both of these, I think in any capacity, I could cover about 1,500 people. My 4 subs will do cover about 1,000. Indoor, will do about 1,000. And outdoor, you're kind of pushing a little bit. You really don't want to push these all the way they can handle it. But to be on the safe side, you always want to leave a little bit of headroom. So, go about, 80%, okay? But I will say is for bands, if you have a good sound guy who knows how to EQ, you can get a lot out of these, okay? If you do not know what you're doing, you're gonna feel like, they're not as good as they are, but they really are. You just gotta know how to EQ. The louder you get, the more EQing you need. But just remember, you've got to make it sound good at small volumes before you raise it up, because little mistakes at lower volumes are big mistakes at high volumes. So remember that. Will I add another set of NXLs? Maybe. I've got enough as it is right now, enough stuff as it is right now, but you will love the 9004 subs. The reason why I like the 9004 subs is that they're modular. And so I can use 4, I can use 2, certain instances I can use 1. When you do use the 9004 subs, if you're running 4 of them, okay, 2 of them cluster together, it's like a 9006. It's gonna be, it's gonna sound like 2.5 subs compared to like a regular dual 18. Okay, so just let you know, it's a lot of power. It's gonna be overkill in most venues. So usually I'm only running 2 9004 subs because they are plenty, and in almost every venue we play in. And the only reason why I run 4 is if I'm outdoor, or if I know I'm going to be pushing it. Say it's a big crowd, me pushing it, and I just don't want to overwork subs unnecessarily, a couple pair unnecessarily. I'll just add additional 2 and then run it probably like 50%, 50, 60%, just to allow them to easily do it. But they do take a lot of power. The subs do take a lot of power, so make sure you have plenty of power for the subs, especially if you're running 4. The NXL is going to take less power than this one right here, than the HDM. So just keep that in mind if you are worried of power, because power is a big thing. Make sure you have enough if you start accumulating a bigger production, because you will ruin stuff if you don't have enough power. Other questions you guys might ask, you know, well, with my mixer, I'm using X32 rack, and using that, and also too, real quick, just to let you guys know, just practical things, lighting. I use some the Hex effects, Shabby Hex effects, and I just screw them in right here and have them facing. So if you look at some of the other videos, you can see how they look. Also with this, I use a, I don't have it down. I mean, I got to get it, but basically I use the hexes as well, but I use the ends of speaker poles, you know, I guess you call them grenades, the ones that screw to kind of adjust to fit in here if you're not screwing in the speaker pole. I basically use that, I stick it in, and I bought this IDJ thing let me go grab it real quick, one sec.